There is an interesting need to do a part 2 to this, okay? Because it's not just looking at how something increases and elevates to power that makes it corrupt. It's the value of that thing. You know, when we put a value to people, places, and things, we alter how people perceive them. So it's not just the construct of how something becomes powerful and corrupts absolutely. It's how we choose to put a value on something that gives it power that corrupts absolutely. Okay? Now, when you look at money as power, power corrupts absolutely. Who puts the value of money, giving it power, that causes that corruption to occur? There was an interesting thing where, you know, you can have Barlow bucks, but you can only spend them at Barlow's store. Well, that money only has value in that store, so the power of that money is only in that store. So be careful, the corruption is pretty specific. Now what if I decided this rock has value, like the periodic table, platinum, uranium, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you don't know the value of that rock, it's just a rock. Like the fascinating constructs of dense. Water can be dense, or you can be dense. You see, the perception changes and corrupts itself. Harm is hurtful. Like, you cannot look at that word harm. Harm. I'm going to harm you. Like, holy shit, there's no way to make that positive. Harm's destructive. If you take off the H, it's an arm. It has nothing to do with harm. And if you add 3 little letters, O and Y, it's harmony, and you're blissful. The value of it changes ever so slightly due to our perception, how we put it together. Now, what if I have a rock? What value is put on a rock that makes it have power, that allows it to corrupt and become imbalanced? It's a balancing act of perceptions and thought constructs. Well, if I have that rock and someone says, oh my God, that's not just any rock, you got a ruby, you got a 10-pound ruby. Oh my gosh, that's millions of dollars to the right people. You understand? Especially depending on the grade. Well, $10 million becomes a resource, the wealthy and the poor. That's how dangerous changing hospitality was into piousness and piety. Because you can take a rich person and a poor person, and if they're children, they don't know the difference of rich and poor. You teach them both how to be hospitable, and they're going to be as hospitable as they can and show you hospitality with what resources they have available. And you will get a varying array of expressions. All I have is peanut butter and jelly, and I'm going to offer that to you. Well, great, that's awesome. That's hospitality. That's all I have. That's wonderful. Well, if I have fancy truffles, well, great. But the value of the thing doesn't matter. It's the action behind giving that matters. Now you change hospitality to piousness and piety, which is a religious charity, then someone's got to be poor and someone's got to be rich. And you create a division. It's the value you give to a person, places, and things that gives them power and causes corruption. A 10-pound rock is only powerful if you bash somebody in the head in it, or you bash a coconut open and you get to food. That's when it becomes powerful and it can corrupt. If you take that 10-pound rock and you break a coconut so you can drink it, you saved your life and you got a resource. And if you can do that for everybody and no one else knows how to do it, You got a powerful skill set, and it can corrupt easily. Now, if it's a $10 million ruby, everybody's going to try to kill you and take it because they want that powerful resource because of the value of it. It's what value we put to it, or society puts to it, or whatever, that allows it to become corrupted. So the whole point in me doing a part 2 on knowledge is power and power corrupts, absolutely, is that's not but one piece of it. The value of something gives that thing power. You see? And that power will corrupt, absolutely. It's not just that knowledge is power, and power corrupts, absolutely. It's how you play with that and balance your thought constructs and the value of the things you have around you and the resources that are present that alters its impact on your life and those around you. Money will not change me. I do not need it. I don't like it. I won't like it if I have it. I'll get high on it because I can give it away and do things for people. I can make things. But I'm a peculiar creature. I'm selfless and I hate money because money is what poisons people's mind because we put a distorted value on money and created rich and elite. We created rich and elite. What if I told you that the social contract could be changed at any minute? What was it that big business taught you? The customer's always right. What if you can manipulate the customer into wanting what you want them to want? That is how powerful and dangerous industrial psychology is. Well, that's why I didn't go into it. I had all these conversations with Marcos, and now he was in marketing and research. Because they're messing with your minds and changing the value of things and subliminally causing you to have corrupt thought constructs. Like someone telling you, oh, I'm just peachy when they're having a bad day. A peach is sweet and good and yummy and healthy. And if you're having a bad day and you're trying to force that definition onto a peach, you're distorting the value of it, destroying and corrupting the context of it, and creating discord and a distortion. Like Robert Shackle is a great disruptor. What do you think disruptors do? Well, among other things, they play the devil advocate, like I did. Marcos Dreher has a unique skill set, okay? Because he has unique things that he's learned, and he's learned to integrate them. Like I tried to tell you, it's how they integrated the knowledge that corrupted you and led you to corrupt yourself. Marcos did a very interesting trick, and we'll not talk about that till later, but we will talk about the impact we have on each other and our beliefs and values. Like, I'm a virgin and a guy talking you into sex. I'm a vegan and you getting tricked into eating something and loving it and finding out it has egg in it and beef in it. Your frequency has been changed and misaligned. There'll be a time when they'll have scanners, like what kind of clothes you're wearing. Oh, this is all cotton. Some people won't want to wear anything that has plastic in it because if you cover your hand in a plastic glove, it separates you from things and you don't get, the benefit of it. The same with your thought constructs. If they distort your value and perception of things, you'll make a mess of it on your very own if you don't understand it. That's the occult and hidden knowledge. That's the devil's in the details. You don't understand that we're all vibrating at submolecular atomic levels. We're just vibrating frequencies. And what you gather and keep around you will vibrate with you. Your thought constructs. And if your head is full of things because people's abused you, or you've been scared, or you've been manipulated, or you've had an inflated sense of self You are valuable. You are important. You got a purpose in society. You have to run the country. We're a family of doctors. We're a family of healers. We're a family of businessmen. Business corrupts. Business is power. Power corrupts absolutely. Capitalism is power. Power corrupts absolutely. Until you learn to take your thought constructs, your definitions, and your meanings, and balance how they become powerful so they do not corrupt, you are destined to hurt yourself and others. Love is power. Power corrupts absolutely. They used your love against you. They will use my love against me. Fidelity, loyalty is power. Power corrupts absolutely. Knowledge, hidden, the occult. You understand? That's why they confuse you so much. It's not the 10-pound rock. It's the value you place to it and how you use it that makes it corrupt. How do you corrupt the power of your knowledge and poison yourself and others? Think about it. Have a blissful day. Pray before you think and act. Inaction and deed of mercy is the same as committing a deadly sin. Voice in the silence. You know what else we equate to silence? Nothingness. You know? I like this black screen because it isn't important how I look or what I say. It's how I put it together that makes you think, that will change you in every way. This too shall pass. Why is that important? Because the only thing that's constant is change. Nothing remains the same. And when change comes upon you, how are you going to react? Well, if you need to buy something, you're going to give somebody a $5 bill and they're going to give you change. And you're going to be upset because you don't have your $5 bill. And nobody likes to break a $100 bill because once you get change for a $100 bill, you spend it. Now, do you see how they took that word change, played with its definition and context and the value of it, and alters your perception forever?